So last but not least, here we are in the ventilation room. And if you watch the first installment of this video where I'm introducing 21 acres, talking about heating and cooling from the earth, this is the inside of the tubes that you saw the outside of. So all the ventilation air for the building comes in through these tubes and is preheated or pre-cooled by the earth. This time of year they'd probably be pre-cooled a little bit when it's warm outside. And that 55-degree temperature in the hillside helps bring that air up to temperature or down to temperature depending on the season. And then from here, all that intake air goes up into these ventilation intakes over here and into the building. So yeah, this is where the air comes in, and you'll notice we have metallic filters. These are electrostatic filters which can be washed. So we don't have to dispose of our filters, we just wash them periodically. And if you have a forced air system in your home, I would highly recommend getting electrostatic washable filters. I believe we got ours from Lifetime Filters. Can order them to custom sizes, whatever you need. And yeah, saves a lot on disposal and the environmental impacts of disposable filters. And again, demand controlled ventilation is the biggest savings aspect of our ventilation system. It's controlled by CO2 sensors, which I've mentioned. So for most commercial buildings, they're required to ventilate for maximum occupancy or close to it. So for every person in the building, you need a certain number of air changes per hour, or essentially a certain amount of ventilation air. And if you don't have any sensors that pick up how much ventilation you need, then you're just going to be ventilating for maximum occupancy all the time or close to it, which is a ton of energy, because all of that air that comes in you have to condition and bring up to temperature or down to temperature depending on the season, and that requires a lot of energy, and just running those fans all the time takes a lot of energy. So if you have sensors, CO2 sensors that can pick up how much people are breathing in a space, how much it's being used, that can dramatically reduce your ventilation usage. For our building, I think we use 1% or less of our total energy goes to ventilation. We also have natural ventilation upstairs through the windows and doors when we want it, and that also helps. But yeah, another great quality of these tubes, which I like to end the tour on, is that they sound really cool. So let's check that out. Final notes.